And I will turn it over. Mom Wang, I think you wanted to start and introduce some people.
Um, Not all of them are here yet, Mitch. So I'll wait. Is that okay?
Sure. So I think,
I'm sorry.
okay. I thought just check in, I guess. Mom Ruth said that many of the teachers in the Philippines will have a month off in June. Is that right for all of you? Do you get a month vacation? You all have a break soon coming up? Is it still hot in the Philippines?
Hala.
Hala, no comments.
Wala nagsasalita. Mga teachers.
Why salita?
Hello. No, I just started to rain already yesterday here in northern part of Metro Manila. It rained for almost an hour here in Valenzuela. I think it's Camanaba area, or probably most of Manila and yeah, nearby cities.
Okay. I
So,
will
but still,
I will turn it over to Mom Awi and Mary Rose, Mary Rose, and we can begin.
good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening to all our fellow reading buddies. Advocates from all over. Today is, if I'm not mistaken, our third meeting. I missed the second one though. And I'm very honored to be the one to facilitate this morning. And incidentally, our presenter this morning has been with PRB for many years. Rowena kindly also add some bits and pieces of info about our presenter this morning. I've met her personally, and I've always been an admirer of her for her work with future educators. And Ma'am Rowena, am I right? You have been working with her since the early part of the RB, am I right?
Me, we're both Rowenas.
And okay, and recently when Ma'am Rowena visited the Philippines, she gave a talk to, if I'm not mistaken, a group of Ma'am Awi, Ma'am Rowena Hibanada's students at Philippine Normal University to share the MTV experience. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes,
And
a
we're
lot of
good with that.
future teachers, but I think a few of them were students of Dr. Hibanada.
So without further ado, although to be honest, I don't have her bio note, but since I've met her and I have been an avid follower of her, her speaking engagements, I've seen her giving a talk at South Korea, in some of our regions here in the Philippines, in some countries as well. So without further ado, fellow PRB advocates, let's have Dr. Rowena Hibanada. Big round of applause.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Ma'am Rose. Thank you, Ma'am Mary Rose. It's nice to be with you again after a month. And I would like to share with you some of the things that we're doing at the Philippine Normal University well, on a class basis. No, this is something that we've done in the class. And so I would like to share with you my PowerPoint. Am I going clear? Am I audible? Can you hear me from your end?
Yes, should I share?
Is it
Doc-
clear?
Should I
Yeah,
share?
please, Mitch, please share the PowerPoint. All right. So this is the presentation that I made yesterday for our activity in the class. So can you Mitch, can you slide presentation? Present slide.
Oh, sure. Turn to, can you see this now?
Yes, I can see it. So it's okay with you if I just do it like that,
Okay,
or you want to make it? Yeah.
if you tell
So
me,
this is
I'll change.
it's okay. Yeah, you'll change the slide.
Yes,
This is called a gave it a title, utilizing making thinking visible or thinking routines in Catch Up Friday activities in basic education. But actually, this is a project made by my students. So there are two activities about thinking routines that I've done in my class. First was when we were understanding what transformative education is, and second, when they had to do a service learning in a public high school in Manila during the Catch Up Friday activity. So for the whole 12 weeks, we had 4 weeks of understanding the book of Paulo Freire, The Pedagogy of the Oppressed, and we use different thinking routines. And also, but I will highlight what we did in the Catch a Friday activities in basic education. So next slide, please, Mitch. Second slide. All right. So what is a Catch a Friday? So of course, this is a DepEd memorandum that will end actually next Friday for this school year. They implemented it to have an intervention activity in the learning gap. No? So there was a learning gap happening in the Department of Education. And so the Department of Education decided to have the Fridays to become a catch up Friday. So everything that students will do will not be graded, but it will be a time for students to catch up with the activities, with the readings as well, and with understanding different values, peace education activities, and all about health. So these are the three themes that are very important in discussing. And so um, we as an activity we put on no we put forward activities for thinking routines about health and oh no about values education and peace education. So next slide please. Mitch, can you turn the slide for the third slide?
Perhaps, Sir Mitch, you can give Dr. Ibanada the
No, I
um,
can't present because I'm using a
oh,
phone.
okay.
Yeah.
Medyo malabo din yung visual. Sayang, we can't read it.
But you have it in the group, so actually you can um you can just open it on your end.
Oh, there you
There
go.
you
Much better.
All right. So this is a group of students. I have 60 students. They are major in values education. So they are taking up secondary education, major in values education. So there are a group of mixed students who are in pre-service and they are in their third year, um, third year of taking up the values education, Bachelor of Values Education course. So they'll be the one who will teach and to become para guidance no, when they graduate from Filipino University. Next, please. So our course is called Transformative Education. And also embedded in the course is doing an embedded service learning project. So it's really in the course um, to do service learning. So it's a requirement for the course to go to a high school or go to a public school to give service and literacy and among other things. Next, please. So as we go along during the pre-service learning activities, so I had them read Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed because we are talking about critical education, and so we did um, look at the book. We build, we make connections. They ask questions about the ideas and philosophies of critical education and transformative education. And then we had different viewpoints on sharing different viewpoints on what really does it mean to have transformative education philosophy. And so we look at other philosophies as well, and we look at different transformative educators' point of view, such as David Mesereau and others, and then they were able to explain and interpret, but they also had reason with evidence. So I think in the class of transformative education, all we cover them all here, and it is evident in their reflection. So in my class, before we went out for service learning, they were able to go through the process. We had to go through this map so that we'll be able to go out and service learning. So it's a requirement. And then I had them make um, a reflection on this. And so I have the different uh, reflection sheets that they had to go through so that I'll know if they already had understanding, if they have considered viewpoints, and if they are able to explain and interpret what the books are all about. And then next, please. There. There you go. So this is one of the activities that we did. Is there someone talking also?
Yeah, wait, is there a background? People, please mute. Thank
There.
you.
All right, thank you.
Jen, nga ikaw ang akong spokesman niya sa iya ha. Kay kuan siguro
Wait.
mali. Kuwan na to.
Someone's microphone is on.
Kuwan na sige.
Sorry. All right, there you go. So this is one of the activities that we have in the class. It's I shared it with our group in the MTV group with Dr. Solaya, with other participants in the MTV learning course for this year. So this is how they understood. This is the meaning making activity that we had. One of the activities that we had. We also had done get one, give one, and also pinning the fruit. But this is the one that I had documentation with because this is online. So other activities I was not able to document, but it's in their reflection sheet. Okay, so as you can see here, we had and the students, they use Canva, and I've seen how they are very creative, no, in the digital form. And so when I had them in face-to-face activity and in-person activity, I gave them post-it notes, and it became different, you know, as it's a different take for them. So yeah, that's one of the observation, and we've seen the difference between Gen Z and of course millennials like that. All right, next please. This one is a give one, get one activity. So I had them, the first one is I had them write something in the post-it notes. And then that's give one and then get one. So they had ideas written on the hand figure paper, hand figured paper, and so they were able to share their ideas and they were able to react on that after. So this about service learning and why service learning is a transformative education activity. And also we had the ESP plus one. I made a big boat because I think the theme there was we will be sailing soon. So it's like thematic. This one when we had this bilao and kamay, we had because I'm teaching in the morning, so we had a breakfast together. I um I brought something that they can eat, and so the activity was like so get one and give one also. So it's a sort of a potluck breakfast. And then for the sailing activity, so this one is ESP plus one. So we had different take on how it is to read, how was it to read, what are your experiences. So I've seen some students struggled in reading. They had to like go back 3 4 times in the book, and so I had a glimpse of how some students are struggling in a way that they cannot really fully understand in just 2 readings or 2 cycles of reading the book. And so we had to do partner peer mentoring as well. So these are the interventions that I implemented in the classroom during that time. So uh, all this happened in I think 6 weeks preparation, and then I had them one activity for I think hindi ko na ilagay dito. One activity I had for like analyzing and interpreting data is that when we went, so we sailed already in the public school. I had the leaders first to go with me, and we had an activity called reading and transformative values needs analysis survey. So we had survey and interviews with so that they'll know the viewpoints of students in junior high school. So we had a needs analysis. So, and when they went back, we tried to analyze the data that we had, sort of like a simple research. We analyzed the data that we had from the Raha Soliman High School, and then went back, and then that's the time that we did activities like number one, finding a book that best suited for grade 10 and for the topic that they want. So one is civic engagement. Two is about gender equality. They want to learn more about gender equality. So we had to look at books that actually discuss those for high school. And one of the things that I really love about what my students have done is that they they have written stories of their own, especially in the gender theme. They have written a big book. I can share the pictures later. A big book about a young person struggling with gender. And so, and then they had a read along, they had read aloud in the during the activity. Mitch, next please. So this one is digging deeper. So this one is an activity that they had in the group. So we had the activity before we went out to the public school, we tried it among ourselves. So they read with each other, and then they dig deeper and try to ask questions about the stories that they have composed, stories that they have written, and they put forth questions that might arise when they teach in the public school. So they dig deeper, they understood the process well. And so we had different sort of questions. And then afterward, I had them make an activity that is in 4A's, activity, analyzing, and then abstraction, and then application to life. So we use the 4A's in our activities as well. Then, next please. I think, ayan. This is the last one. So when we went back to the class, we had 3 Fridays in the Raha Soliman High School, and the high school students were very, very active, and they really guided the students. This one is the ESP plus one. So actually they had two insights there. So they had the students write their experience, their insights, and all of these questions. And so nagamit talaga namin yung ESP plus one. When we went back, I had them again write their experience teaching the high school student using the ESP plus one framework. And then next, please. Next slide, Mitch. Yan. So this is one of the activities, the Read for Peace. And so we are reading. Again, it's another activity for another class. And then next, please. So these are the books. Transformation for caring for the environment, youth care for gender and development, and then we walk our talk for values development. So these are what they produce. Okay, next please. And so during the activity, we have seen that it's experiential and purposeful. It's also reciprocal because we help communities, but also my students learned about making thinking visible, experiencing it themselves, but also leading other students to experience it. So we use the see, experience, feel, observe, analysis, and take action activities in the service learning. And so, of course, I look at it as a meaningful activity for them. We also use meaningful art using the thinking routines like the sailing, the boat sailing, the bilao ng pagkatuto, no? But most of all, it was ensured that they are participating in helping out, bridge the gap, ensuring participation in the literacy. And then, next please. I think that this is the last slide. And so we've seen these are these three are part of their reflection, no? And I quoted it, no? So they said, thinking routines are tools specifically designed to help support and guide mental processes or thinking. Because they were values ed major, they were thinking that it's all about affective, affective processes. But here, I told them, and we've seen during the routines that it's also important to do mental processes and to do thinking and not base decisions on feelings and affective models. And then we had them say that it improved their questioning skills and facilitating skills because it's important. They will be teachers and they will be guiding, so it's important. And then about Catch Up Fridays, they said that it motivates them to find ways to help students cope up with lesson through thinking routines. So definitely, this is a must. And well, this is well documented in a technical report, Ma'am Weng. So this activity was done for 13-week class. And this is not, of course, with the service learning project, we were not able to look at how students in Raha Suleman High School look at the progression of development. But definitely for my students in Bachelor of Values Education, I've seen them develop, no, yung through the thinking map. And so I've seen them how they were able to finish the course excellently using the thinking routines as a tool to learn service learning and transformative education. So what else? How did the teacher gather outputs or listen to the students in Raha Suleiman? They were able to get materials. They were able to get materials. They were able to put forth some materials, very creative materials to elicit students' response. And it is in their technical report. I can share with you if you like. And so lastly, of course, this is the one. Next slide, please, ma'am. This is the one that I've sent with them. So this is the child. You are wanted to start MTV in PH Classroom when you graduate. I'm still with them this term. We will be talking about design thinking and innovation. So it's another thing that I'm design thinking, creativity, and innovation for service learning. It's another course, but I'm trying to start with again reading a book called Daniel's Pink. What's this? Daniel's Pink book. I forgot the title. I'm sorry. But it's called Why Right Brainers Will Rule the World. And so they are now reading together and they are doing the making meaning and the ESP plus one as well. And we will be sharing it on Monday in a face-to-face classroom. I think that's it. And thank you very much for listening to my sharing. Please ask questions if you may, if you have, and I'll be happy to respond to you. Thank you.
Wow, that's all like if I will compare that to a meal, it's complete from appetizer to dessert. Napakasiksik at liglig po ng ating presentation, Dr. Ibanada. I'm sure the students have all enjoyed and kumbaga sa meal they have partaken and their hearts are full, their tummies are full, their brains are all nourished talaga po. And it's a totally beautiful experience for everyone. Ma'am, thank you so much for this, for sharing this to us. And looking forward personally to be able to attend one of your talks or workshops along with this. And I'm sure a big majority of us here at this time would like to see it up close and personal, and of course in our class, in with our students as well. Don't you think so?
Yes.
Um,
Oh, I had a few questions, Ma'am Awi. First, do you sense that there is now more receptivity to incorporating MTV into classroom activities? Is there more support from DepEd to include it in the curriculum?
So, Miss, this is a very general answer. I cannot really talk about DepEd, but I will be talking about the principal whom we partnered with. And they are actually, the principal is asking me about the schedule of training their teachers. But for now, because the school year is ending, I said, let's go back in, in July and August. So we'll have, and for the receptivity, I cannot speak about the whole DepEd system, but the fact that they are using the Catch-up Fridays, and during a meeting with the Department of Education, I think the Catch-up Friday will stay in the system, so it will be a good entry point for making thinking visible, to be used and utilized in this activity. So if we can further the training for teachers about thinking routines, maybe they can use it during the Catch-up Fridays activities. Because Catch-up Friday activities is all about reading. It's all about reading and thinking routines. Of course, when you're reading, you have to do thinking routines. So I think that's my answer to your question, Mitch.
I have one other question and then I'll let other people ask. I note with all of your books that you use, were they primarily Filipino authored books or were there a mix of other books as well?
Well, what we did was we were able to create stories on our own. So the students have written stories on their own. So they have become authors of their own stories, and we validated it together. Also, we use Filipino authored books, mostly Filipino authored books mostly. The one that we had, because we had a very famous author in Philippine Normal University, and that is a faculty. He's a faculty, and so we asked to have those books to be used in our activities, such as the Discovering Oneself book. So it's actually a children's story book. Those are children's story books that they have loved. So two groups have written their own stories. The other one used Filipino authored books, and the other one I think used an excerpt in a UNESCO publication. So those are mixed sources that we use. But for my class, I used only Pedagogy of the Oppressed. I had them read the whole book, but we discuss it chapter by chapter. First chapter 1 week, second chapter, and then read it again, go back to the groups, and that's what we did.
Great, thank you.
Quick follow-up question. Ma'am Awi, that was amazing. Nakaka-inspire po talaga. Ang daming ginagawa. Pero siguro po, just to frame it for our friends right now, everyone who's in the group, thank you all for coming. Yung ano, Ma'am Awi, time framework. Like, I am a little bit lost in terms of, like, I'm trying to visualize which classes, which students. So yun po bang Catch Up Friday, volunteer students po ba dito yung mga estudyante sa PNU?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they work with the students at Raha Soliman in Tondo?
Yes, ma'am. No, this is a two-part. So the 6 weeks, we had it in my class, 6 to 7 weeks. And then for 3 weeks, 3 Fridays, we had it in Tondo. So we volunteered in Tondo for the Catch-up Fridays.
Yung
So 3
klase niyo po na
Fridays
values
went.
education.
Yes po, opo. And then
Mga
we
ilang
partnered
estudyante
it
po
with
yun, ma'am?
60 students. And then
60
we had 80 students. 80 students as a beneficiary of the project.
okay. So the
80
60
students,
students
40. The 60
Oh.
students went to Raha Soliman High School and taught 40 and 40. Tig-isa silang section. Kasi two sections. I divided them into two sections, 30 and 30, my students. We went to Raha Soliman. We had two sections, 40 and 40, as their beneficiary in reading. So yun po. So it
So-
all happened in 12 weeks. 12 weeks, the whole semester, the whole term.
March,
Because
April,
the last
May.
week, yes,
Mm.
because the last week was our debriefing and our celebration.
Oh, that's awesome. So para pong module, parang practical module po sa PNU na mga estudyante mo.
Yes, ma'am. It's an immersion module actually. It's not called practicum, but it's an immersion. So in my class, we have community immersion projects.
Mm.
I'm assigned to those courses that have community immersion in it, or service learning in the course. So it is a required activity for the course.
Mm. That's awesome setup. Meron po bang mga involved na teacher sa Raha Soliman? Tinitingnan ko lang po yung sino yung mga
Yes,
na-impact
ma'am.
na.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yung values education teacher nila, dalawa, sa tig-isa. And
Mm.
then si Miss Bam, she
Si
was
Miss Bam.
there during the whole time, observing only. So they were observers. They did not participate. They were just looking at what we're doing.
Mm.
So they said it was a good idea, and so we had it in a conversation with the principal. They said, it's a good, it's a good practice. So maybe we can ask Ma'am Awi to have us to teach us how to do it. And so I said,
Mm.
sige po. And then the principal said, no, not now, because we are ending the school year. Maybe in
Mm.
July or August, we can have at least one LAC session. They call it the LAC session, or Learning Action
Mm.
Cell, and discuss about making thinking visible. Good thing is that there's Ma'am Bam Intapano already to
Mm.
help us make the schedule with the principal.
Mm. Okay, thank you po. Iba naman magtanong.
So that's one school already in Manila. So I hope that we can have it like in many schools, but I will be starting small. I will be doing it first in just in Raha Soliman. And then maybe if we have other partner schools, and maybe if they see the viability of it, and then I can offer and we offer it for free, so there's no fee for they don't even give us, we even gave the students a pack of goodies afterwards because they have participated. So and the funds came from PNU.
Wow.
Ma'am Awi, I liked your poster for you're wanted to teach MTV in the classroom. That was a great idea.
Yes. The challenge.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Hello,
I
Ma'am
have,
Awi. Yeah.
Muted ka, Mitch.
Murray Chris, I think, had some questions, so I will leave the questioning to her.
Muted
I
ka,
guess
Dr.
yes.
Mitch.
Yeah. So, pwede pong, yeah, this is really, interesting activity. So, yung about this catch-up Fridays. So, kailan po nag-umpisa to? Like, this year lang? Or has it been implemented also before? Like other kind of catch-up Friday immersion? Or only this particular like cycle?
Ma'am, well, the Catch-up Friday has been with DepEd for how many weeks? I think it's included in the DepEd memo. I don't know the exact date. But for us, as we went with the Raha Soliman, we only had it 3 weeks. 3 weeks lang po
So-
kami doon. So meron na
yeah,
silang ibang
yeah.
activity before. And we asked the students, what did you do during your Catch-up Fridays? So pinagbabasa lang sila pero walang processing. Babasa lang sila, ganyan. Hindi
Yeah.
pinaprocess ni teacher, basta they use it as an individual reading activity. So they were left alone what they want to do in the in the book as well. That's how. So I think it added another layer and an important layer in doing the Catch Up Fridays, where we we embed the thinking routine after reading, because reading is not enough. Just reading the text or just reading some books is not enough. It's important they understand the what they are reading.
Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, so did you also, or at least the values ad hoc teacher, I think you mentioned earlier they had their reflection. Could you share some of their reflections
I shared
from?
it in the slide. I just shared three in the last slide, that they see the viability of making thinking routine as a tool for teaching, and it also made them it also developed in them the art of questioning and facilitating as well. I highlighted only three for the interest of time. And so they've seen the importance of making thinking visible. And that's important for them to see that this activity is not put to waste, and they will make it also a practice in their profession. And that's what we do in Teacher Ed. We just teach them how to embed it in their practice. And we call it praxis, as Paulo Freire would term it. No? They have praxis, and hopefully when they become teachers, they will use the thinking routine as well.
So as the instructor, did you really also like, yeah, those are their self-reflections. So what is your observation, like, as of the students who participated in the Catch Up Fridays using some of these thinking tools routine?
You mean for the high school students?
No,
Yes.
for I
Oh,
think two things.
sorry.
You as
To
the
let
instructor, like, what are your observation of your students? Because yeah, so I think the three things that
Well,
you captured, that's their self-reflection, right? Like, but like, compared to maybe some of your students that did not, sort of practice it, or have not incorporated, or even not exposed as much. So just kind of like, is there noticeable change, or you see really some growth? Obviously it's different from one to another, but as an instructor, observing your values ed students that are going out, so that's one layer, but also themselves to the other to the one that they are kind of volunteering and serving, that's the other layer. So I'm just curious.
well, I would like to tell you, it's not really a statement of humility, but we have excellent students at Philippine Normal University. So they were accepted because they are sort of exceptional. But of course, no, I've said earlier that there are students who are struggling to have time to read. I think not struggling on understanding what they're reading, but they are struggling to appreciate reading as well. And so what I did was to have them in a group that's to embed them in the group that's already doing excellent work, and do peer mentoring, so that it prepares them when they go out in the Raha Soleman service learning activity. So when they went out to the Raha Soleman, they were already immersed into the activity, because we had a lot of practice beforehand in my class. So it started in my class. And so when I saw these students, I really asked them, and uh, I really spent time to know what impedes them to read, their context as well. And so I had students to also help me to also help me uh, encourage them, read with them, and then understand the text together. Because of course, Paulo Freire's book is not it's not an easy read. Even I, as a teacher, I've been reading it over and over again. So I think the text is also heavy, and so I had them. We call them scaffolding. Now we had scaffolding activities for it. I also have given these students guide questions, and then we had group discussions as well. So interventions are important, no, in of course I cannot let them out. I had one student that I left, no, when I mean I left, she will not be able to concentrate because there's a physical condition as well, and so they're 61. So that one, I had to let go because of her physical condition. So she was not able to complete all the MTV thinking routines activities. She was not able to do a reflection. And so I had her do a different activity as well. So that those were the activities that I did. I did it like in 13 weeks only. So this is really fast for PNU because we only had 13 weeks for one term.
Ma'am,
That's
Ma'am
it. I
Howie,
hope I answered your question.
Ma'am Howie, I had
Yes
one
po.
other question. As Dr. Dunny knows, I'm very interested in language and the challenge of using language with making thinking visible. And I noticed that your students all used English to do the routines, but I wonder if in the public schools, you would have to make some accommodation for the languages of the students to make it
Yeah.
accessible to them. And I wondered if you had had experience or thoughts about that.
Yes, I have appreciate the idea of my students to use Filipino books. Also, their stories are written in Filipino, but also there are students who opt English in that. And I think one reason is that the section they gave us is it's a homogeneous, I think, star section. 3 sections are part of the first 5 sections, I think. I think that was the advantage. And I think disadvantage also because we're not able to really see the struggling learners in Rasoleman. So that's one case in point, I think. So the school gave us good students, so to speak. And so we didn't have any problem in language and understanding.
I wonder for all of those teachers here who are in public school settings, if you had thoughts about how this would work for your schools.
Again, Mitch,
I was wondering for the teachers who teach in public schools, how would you approach introducing making thinking visible in your curriculum, and what kind of accommodations you would need to make it work?
that I'm also wondering right now, Mitch. I still don't have the answers.
Ruth or Mary Chris or others who teach, they have some ideas or experience with this?
Or maybe Dr. Sulaya, who's in
Hello?
the same setting, university. Is that something doable in PL Moon?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. In my case, it's not the communication is not a problem because I'm handling the English majors, but I think the challenge would be when a teacher or professor would handle non-English major students or teacher education students. But since we're talking about I think we are now on discussing the DepEd revising the curriculum to better develop 21st century skills in the students based on the 21st century skills and based also on the review of understanding the map. So we're supposed to think of ideas to incorporate MTB to achieve the goals of DepEd. First and foremost, the 21st century skills does not only revolve around one skill, which is communication. There are many of them. I think the C is the critical thinking, creativity, information literacy. No? So,
Collaboration.
yeah, collaboration. And the focus now of teaching aside from, of course, part of that, only part and parcel of that is the communication, but um, teaching the students, uh, especially the how do you call it, pre-teacher students, uh, we have to cover all the 21st century skills. And I just would like to, this is not a direct answer to Mitch's answer, but more of the reflection on Dr. Awi's presentation a while ago. I think if I were to give an honest to goodness comment about the present, I mean the things that the PNU and she herself is doing for the pre-service teachers, and these are ESP or values education majors. Um, she's doing I mean, she's on the right track in terms of utilizing the MPPs. It's just that when you look at the activities, it's more of, I mean, it's still the traditional activities or strategies making use of. Of course, it's not. There's nothing wrong about it, but since one of the 21st century skills is digital literacy projects, in which we incorporate technology and literacy by encouraging students to use digital tools to present their thinking processes. My point here is that since the government has made this, thought of revising the curriculum again through the Matatag, and I wonder if I'm not DepEd, but I wonder if it's being done together with strengthening digital literacy by providing technology or gadgets to the public school system. That's the challenge, because professors or professional education teachers like Dr. Awi has a lot of ideas to share to the future teachers, but it has to be coupled with digital literacy and technology, because that's part of the 21st century skills, and we really cannot avoid that anymore. And more than, I mean, if we have this kind, if we are going to strengthen this aspect of the 21st century skills, communication will follow, because what we notice now in the Philippines, that there are a lot of children now because of technology, especially surprisingly, those who are in the far-flung areas of the country, like Visayas and Mindanao, and even those places which previously cannot be reached by technology, now because of technology and in the internet, there are children who cannot communicate anymore perfectly or fluently in our native language, or I mean in the mother tongue, that they can communicate more in English as an international or the universal language. So that's my take on that. I don't know. I have to be critical about what the government is doing. Is the initiative on revising the curriculum being coupled with efforts as well in terms of strengthening the technology aspect of the country? Although in our university there's a free internet already, and we have to celebrate that. How about in the other public schools in the far-flung areas of the country? So those are my thoughts on the presentation. But I really like. I mean, it's the way Dr. Awi presented it. It's a PNU way. That's how we were taught as well. It's just that now it's not being coupled. It has to be coupled with technology integration, being part of the 21st century skills. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jimenez.
Jimenez. Oh,
Oh, Mom Mary Rose, did you want to share your video?
Yes, time check 8:04, may I? But a few thoughts on what Dr. Solaya has just shared with us. Perhaps we could do that, inserting or including the 21st century skills. Yeah, we could do that perhaps in cities where LGUs or the or major stakeholders have contributed much with in terms of technology. Like if I may give some examples, Manila, in some schools, in some schools, Manila, Taguig, some schools in Valenzuela, perhaps, Makati City. I've heard they've been giving tablets also, but not to all schools. There are specific schools which they have openly given more. And as far as I know, they would give more of these to. There's a certain criteria for a school to receive as much number of tablets for the students to use. I would, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that is. But it's possible though. But it really depends on how the community helps or puts together all the resources to be able to reach this one. But when it comes to the literacy part, we all really have to face the reality that you have to start with the basics, with the simple, and then we can go to the next steps. That's my take on that. Thank you.
So Mom Mary Rose, are you saying
Yes, please.
we should do the give one, get one routine and go to break
Yeah,
up?
would you like to do it now or should I quickly present the narrative, Ma'am Weng? What do you think, Ma'am Weng?
present the what? I'm sorry.
You said about the 3 minutes sharing of the National Alliance of Reading Advocates.
Oh, yes, Sir Mitch. Maybe I think a big part of Ma'am Awi's presentation is I think covers a lot of what the what the DepEd has initiated this school year, like the catch up Fridays and the different skills. Also mentioned by Dr. Salayo, yung uh, technology, right? Technology literacy and all of that, and so I'm afraid that we might not have time to do a full activity of go again, Sir Mitch. So maybe we could just summarize some of the points raised by Dr. Hibanada. I really like the initiatives that PNU and specifically Dr. Hibanada herself in terms of putting this the MTV and what DepEd wants the teachers to do in terms of building critical thinking skills, right? And literacy and communication. So I think I'm speaking from the point of view of the PRB mission, which is let's all just try and experiment using MTV in our own context, and don't worry about being exhaustive or comprehensive. So I really want to commend Dr. Hibanada because right away there's so much going on, and it's not it's there's still a lot of thoughtful planning that goes in it. I know that she's been using Paulo Freire for years before, right? This is not the first time she's using it with her class, but to like put together what they've been doing already in her class at PNU, and then get the students to learn how to build the thinking skills of students in the public schools. So the college students going out there and using the Catch Up Friday setup, and engage the college students who are future teachers in getting these high school students who are struggling in reading or whatnot, other academic skills they're trying to build using the Catch Up Friday structure. I think it's a great start. So I would like to tell the other teachers who are here, just please try it. Just please accept the challenge. Do the application of MTB in your own classrooms and see where it leads you. See how we sort of learn more about it as we apply. Does that make sense? So I especially like the values education, piggybacking on it, because there are so many examples of MTV, making thinking visible, classes that we've seen when we took the course. Remember that conversation about bravery, right? And Mom Ruth's class also talked about nationalism, I think. So values is like open ended, like it's a lot of opportunities there to apply, using a thinking routine to learn about that content. All right, I'll shut up now. So let the
Ma'am
other.
Weng, I agree with you. I agree with you because they have a notion that in values education, you just put focus on the feelings, put
Mm,
focus on understanding your feelings. And so I always tell my students, it's cognitive. You use feelings, but you use thinking as well. If feelings, you will get lost. So you have to use your
mm.
brain. You have to be thinking about it before you put on actions. Actions that are based on feelings are fleeting and non-rational, irrational as well. And so this is an important something to be stressed on in teaching values education. Thank you. And that has been my stand even before.
I mean, values, you make choices, you make decisions. A lot of cognitive skills there.
Yeah, but ma'am, when in the public schools, it's not happening. They don't put forth much effort in making thinking visible in values education. And so the most question is, how did you feel in teaching the story? Of course, the students will just say, I'm happy, like that. And so it's important for values education also to be more critical in teaching this value and how they can improve on questioning skills as well. And so
Mm,
making thinking visible is applicable even in values education because some would say, oh, it's applicable mainly in reading classes, in Filipino language classes, in English classes. And so they don't give much attention to it. And I think what I'm doing as part of my advocacy is to make these teachers aware that you don't use thinking routines as much as you should have to, that you should have. So it's important. That's it. Thank you.
mm. What about the others? What do you think of teaching values? How do you do it in your context? Because I think values education is part of the curriculum, right? The general curriculum. Ako, tulog na yata yung ating mga teachers. Hello? Bukas na po natin ang ating profile. And please share what you think.
Ma'am Bing has a question, or she
Oh, Ma'am
has
Bing,
raised her
yeah.
hand.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to Doc Awi for her presentation. Very na-impress ako masyado at na-inspire but at the same time na-challenge din ako kasi I also no but thank you so much. Very I mean a lot of ideas on how to use the thinking routines in the class. But I've been like wondering if there's a way or an opportunity that this experience of Doc could be, yung masulat siguro siya into an article or maybe an essay that could be published for, public consumption. Because I think, these are, wonderful experiences, no? These are also innovations that I think would be of value to, other teachers, and a way to show them, a different way of doing things. So I'm hoping that this could also be shared, no, not only with us in the community, our MP community, but also to others. I don't know what are those platforms or other channels, or baka meron sa PNU si na Ma'am Awi, where this could be documented, so that other teachers know, or mga students natin also get to read about this and be able to use yung MTV, and part of our promotion, no, encouraging teachers to adopt this technology that we have learned. I have some questions for Ma'am Awi. I'm just curious about, one is, what did you learn from this experience that you didn't know before you did this? Or maybe discoveries, maybe insights, something that surprised you by doing this, this experience. And I also am very much interested to know the practical issues and the challenges that you encountered as a teacher, and also maybe for the students as well, and then the class. Because I know that we there could be some challenges. For me, have always struggled with like managing the time and things like that. But I would like to hear those issues and challenges that you encounter. And another point is, how did you go about the assessment process of the students' learning and thinking from the documentation generated from the thinking routine? Because we could generate a lot of documentation, but then how do you make use of that, in assessing students' learning and thinking?
Progress.
So yeah, so I am very much interested to hear Mom Awi's reflections and responses to these questions that I have in mind. Thank you so much.
Uh-oh, is Miss Ma'am Awi still there, I wonder? Ma'am Awi? I think she's attending another meeting, right, Sir Mitch? Mute, Sir Mitch.
I think she has another speaking engagement, so perhaps she's on her way.
She's on the way.
Miss
Just oh,
Gloria,
sorry, is someone talking? Dr. Salayo, you're saying something?
is that Miss Bing was Dr.
Yeah,
Dr. Yeah, and she's
Mas
asking about
Ma'am.
she's like asking about aha moments with the implementation of the MTB
Yes, yes,
strategies.
yes,
Ah,
exactly.
that's now that's my favorite strategy now with my students. I used to think, now I think. Every lessons that I have would end with I used to think, now I think. And it's part of the visible, making thinking visible. So I have to make my students realize that at the end of the session, every session, there is a major takeaway that they should see. And I'm using the I used to think, now I think strategy, and it's very it's something that really make my students, the teacher education students, think critically, and that's, I mean, part of the 21st century that we're developing in our students. But still, we're struggling on that aspect of the critical thinking. It's critical thinking, and it's more challenging to make it visible, the thinking visible. So I'm just reminded of that question of Miss Ping. Thank you.
Mm. Also, I'm going to try to quickly share what we're doing. So, Ma'am Bing, this is actually going towards that. The vision is to gather all these attempts to apply making thinking visible, so that we can share them with more teachers, because this is a community of learners. Okay, that's the name of the group for those who are um, joining us for the first time. Let me just acknowledge some of the people. Maybe this is the time to do that now. We have Miss KB Meniado. Did I say that last name? Um, she's from a book club called Book Bed. Um, and I sort of invited her to work with our PNU students who are going to engage in um, a reading circle. So basically, it is to get them interested in reading, build their reading stamina, and just develop a habit of reading. And then we have Aryan, Ma'am Aryan. Are you still here? Ma'am
Here, ma'am.
Aryan. Oh, Ma'am Aryan, can you just quickly tell us where you're located and which group you're connected with?
Hello, everyone. I'm from Eastern Summer State University, and I am teaching uh, education students, but sometimes I'm affiliated to agriculture students to teach English. And yeah, especially early childhood educators. Yun lang
Okay.
po.
So, ito pong mga bisita natin ngayon ay mga potential po na iimbitahan natin na kuhanin rin yung The Power of Making Thinking Visible na course. Hopefully, sila yung mga susunod na batch. But we're already trying to um, generate interest in their context, kagaya ng ginagawa ni Ma'am Awi ngayon. So, Ma'am Bing, just to finish that um, conversation, we're gathering these stories, your personal stories about your journey with making thinking visible, and then we're hoping to put together all these stories in kind of like a manual, kind of like the Power of Making Thinking Visible textbook, only it's a manual for Filipino teachers. So we are in the Philippine context, right? Because we have specific problems here that are not really problems of other countries in the world trying to reform their education systems, right? One big problem that we have is our struggle with mother tongue based education, so that language piece, and also that we have been stuck in teaching in the traditional way, and so we're trying to get out of that mold and be familiar or develop strategies that would get the students thinking, that would also build the thinking skills of our students. So so that's the vision. We're in the process of collecting these stories, and I invite everyone, Ma'am Awi especially, write we please write down, document this. As you document, think about it as like you're sharing your story with others, and then in a written format, we put all these stories together and we have a manual. Would that be cool? Okay, so did we miss introducing someone else? Oh, Mama Rivi is a teacher here in the US. Um, is also a part of Ma'am Awi's team. Ma'am Gretchen, do we have someone from Albay that you would like to introduce? Is our contact with BU here?
Ma'am Rowena, sorry, she wasn't able to make it today, but she is setting a meeting with me next week, ma'am.
Um,
Instead.
okay. Ma'am Awi, are you back yet? Umalis na ba siya tuluyan? I was gonna take a picture. So any last comments, last few questions? We'll try to answer it, I guess, in behalf of Ma'am Awi. But kung hindi, Ma'am Rose is also sharing about another initiative we're trying to work on. Is Ma'am Rose here? Ma'am Rose?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Very nice.
So,
Thank you, Ma'am Rowena.
so again, talk about Nara.
That's right, Sir Mitch. This is going to be a very quick one. So, okay, let me start sharing it po.
Do you
So,
have
I
a
have
screen
attended
to
this
share?
last, yeah, it's with Sir Mitch po. But I also have it on my lap. Would you like me to share it, Sir Mitch, or you'll do it now?
You can share it, Mary Rose.
Okay po. Try ko po.
Ooh. Bisaya po ba yan? Dr. Salayo and Ma'am Arian? There are comments on the chat box. If you guys want to check all these comments on the side.
Can you see my screen very well?
Yeah, we see it.
See
Yung
it. It's good.
microphone lang, Ma'am Mary Rose.
Oh,
Medyo,
my microphone. Oh, no.
try to come closer siguro.
Okay, sige po. Oh, wait, it's a video. So I should pause this. Oh, here. So I attended this one last April 26th. So hello everyone. And before that, let me greet our fellow teachers in America. A happy Teacher Appreciation Week and happy Mother's Day, everyone. And this week, in the coming third week of May, we are celebrating the Children's Book Week 2024. And FYI, mga kababayan, the Philippines is the country of focus in the Asian Festival of Content. Okay. So we are participating there. And in the picture here, our very own Beth Parocha did this artwork for the conference. And the Philippines has been very active. A recent Bologna International Book Fair, aside from the second Philippine Book Festival, and this one po, the media launch of the National Leadership Survey last March 21. And you can watch that in full. There's a link in here. And you can also see details of that in the National Book Development Board page. So you can see what NBDB has been working on regarding this leadership survey. And this prompted them to have a sizzle event, and they have gathered reading advocates all over the country in this event that I've attended for PRB po, for Pinoy Reading Buddies. Ayan, so they have rallied the support of reading advocacy groups to form a reading alliance so we could all work together so that we can become a nation of readers. Yeah, so as of now, we are a nation of storytellers. And as Ma'am Rowen has said earlier, we can share stories, we can start with that, with this manual, and eventually, it's not impossible to make our country a nation of readers. And in this post by the National Book Development Board, I'm pleased to tell you that they have, yes, indeed, included ERB. Look at that. Ayan po. So we are invited to join everyone in this effort uh, to give reading for a chance here in the country. Okay, in terms of love for reading, having a engaged reading, and so forth. And they want us to have a united front for a reading culture, a nation of readers, that it becomes a reading culture already. So this will serve, so we will serve as a front runner for the advancement of readership here in the country. Okay. And another thing, so through working together, we can, in fact, be able to do this. So in fact, they have emailed your story, and I have forwarded the email of NBGP to Ma'am Rowena. Ma'am, I used the Engage PRB email. They sent us an email so that we can have an information session, and perhaps PRB can discuss with them how can PRB collaborate with NARA, with the National Alliance of Reading Advocates. So how can we, as a group, help the country through small efforts, and then we put them together like in a bayanihan way. And so,
To build a reading culture.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Quick
And
quick question lang, Ma'am Meros, yung
yes,
language
ma'am.
po ba nung mga libro, is it more national in scope o Tagalog English lang?
That was a question raised in the event, and they're working on having, in fact, LBGB has made an effort to include our the mother tongue of the regions, and even, if I'm not mistaken, some of the indigenous groups, and it's very inclusive. It's if I may use uh, the phrase, more inclusive. And we really planned this well, and we have included a lot of groups, not only like locally published books for NCR readers, but also in far-flung areas. We have invited deaf ed teachers from all across the country to scope the reading materials available for the readers, for the children to use, also for teachers to use in their teaching.
Oh,
Mhm.
storybooks to use in the classroom to be used for teaching,
Yes, ma'am.
or do you mean
Textbook,
non-fiction books?
storybook. Yes, ma'am. Fiction, non-fiction, reference materials to be used in the classroom by the children and by the faculty, by the school. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Right. I think we have arrived at 8:30.
Yes, 8:32.
8:32. Would
These
you
are
like?
the future events. Sige po. It's okay. More updates to come.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Should we take a group picture? And thank
Yeah.
you. Very engaging, interesting discussion. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much.
So gallery view, I think, para lahat ng, and may we invite everyone to turn on their video. Makita yung mga magagandang mukha ng ating mga teachers. So habang nagpi-picture, ayan, nakabukas na lahat. Yung hindi po nakapagbahagi ng kanilang mga kaisipan o mga takeaways, bukas po yung ating grupo. Dr. Hibanada is here. Oh my gosh. Any last words, Dr. Hibanada. You didn't get to answer Ma'am Bing's question. I did it for you. We said we have a manual in the works. But if you have something else to add, okay ka na?
Okay na, ma'am. Yes, we have
Okay. Pero like I said, parati tayong bitin, 'di ba? But please go to our Community of Learners group, um, Community of Learners Facebook group, and just add your comments there. Sir Mitch is going to post the video, the recording of this session. And for me personally, I just want to tie in together one of the biggest question, which is how do we do the assessment? Why are we documenting this? Why are we gathering this information about how each application is coming along? What's the impact on the students? What's the impact on the teachers? That's part of the big piece that is the MTV approach, which is documentation, right? When we listen to the students, what do we hear, and what do we do with the progress? What do we do with what we see? Oh, they were thinking before in this way, and now they're thinking in this way. So how do we capture that, the progress of our students as thinkers, and but that is one of the biggest reasons for why we make thinking visible. It's because we want to track the progress of the students. What is our goal? What are the thinking moves, or are we building the this thinking disposition? How do we know we get it? How do we know we're successful? So that's a big part of the assessment piece. Tama po ba? And maybe we can have someone present on that for next month, the next month, next session. So can we have a hand who's going to present next month for June presentation? Can we have a volunteer? I thought it was Dr. Sulayo, but of course you can say, no, sir, kung hindi ka pa rin ready for June. So, is it a go, sir? Pwede ba yung presentation mo sa June? Mute ka po. Sir, you're muted. Uh-oh. Is there a way we can unmute him?
Yeah. Are we going to have the assessment of next meeting?
It's one of the big questions tonight. So I thought we could sort of continue exploring that for next time.
Yeah, I thought I could also share like just what Dr. Ibanades has presented, and our colleague, was that John, during the April.
Mr. Kananan.
So I could share by that time, that's June already. We're done with the very busy schedule of the university. We're celebrating our 33rd foundation anniversary this May.
Okay.
So maybe I could, yeah.
Would that be okay, Sir Mitch? Sir Mitch is doing the flow, something. Okay. So thank you. Oh, did Dr. Ribanada leave again? Oh, thank you, Ma'am Awi. Big thank you. It was very enlightening and inspiring, the presentation. And thank you everyone for coming. So, Sir Mitch, you're good to go. Sorry. Muted, Sir Mitch.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you in June. Bye-bye.
Alright. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Again, please comment sa Facebook page. Okay.